Oh, jeez. Welcome.
Holy crap.
The Hat
That
Chat
was
podcast.
heavy.
That was good.
Yep.
Episode 56, I believe, Ross.
Yeah, welcome.
Confirmed.
I'm Ross Hornby.
Nice. I'm Chris Trott.
And I'm Alex Smith. And that fingal was from Josh Morley Smith. Thank you very much for that headbanger.
Not quite a Smith, a Morley Smith.
Exactly. Double-barreled. Nice.
Thank you for that. There is a longer version of that at the end, so enjoy that with a lot of our samples at the start, which I've removed for the intro, so enjoy. Hey, we've got some big announcements coming in, hot off the press.
Oh, wow.
We thought we'd use the really good number 56 of our episodes so far to do a big shift in our format. It's not that big. It's just kind of categorizing and also cleaning up a podcast, so it's not just a stream of random consciousness. It's streams of random consciousness in 3 sections now. So hey, who wants to talk about it first?
I'll talk about it. So basically, we're just going to organize ourselves a bit better so we have like subjects. Our first thing is we want to kind of talk about hypotheticals, which was quite a good subject last week where we kind of came up with an idea and that gave us a lot to bounce off of each other on. And what we might introduce with that as well is stuff for our Patreon users who help support us via Patreon. Yeah, that's right. There is a link. I'm sure you've got a little queue for it. But basically, we will give you some suggestions for what topics we can talk about in future podcasts and stuff. And that'll be helpful for us, but also interactive so you guys can have your say on kind of what you want to hear from us, which is great. It's what we want. It's what we have with the Fingals, which has already been a great community interaction. So yes, that's that part. Any other bits?
Yeah, Patreon, we respect you guys. You guys have keeping us going, so we kind of want to provide some extra goodies for you, some more interaction, like choosing the hypotheticals, but also we are moving. We finally did it, guys. We're finally going to get ads into our podcast. Wow. I know you're all just jumping out of your seats and ready to clap. But that is ultimately what's going to be happening going forward. So they will be automatically put in. They won't be done by us unless we get some really good, high-paying ones, and then they're asking us to put them in which case I will bend over backwards and sell you some Viagra. But yeah, look forward to that. Patreon, if you guys don't like that, we're going to be sending you an ad-free version of our podcast. Same goes for our YouTube channel. The Hat Chat podcast will not have any of these ads in. It's purely for the podcast distribution places. I don't know. It might
have YouTube ads, I'm guessing. Or
YouTube will do its own thing.
I think they have like 3 or 4, depending on where you are.
They won't be the podcast's auto-injected ads. So that making you aware of that won't be for this specific episode. We'll let you know when they start happening. But
you might just notice them as well. I think also it's worth mentioning that these adverts, these auto-inserted ads, are curated to remove harmful stuff, but equally we're not entirely sure what they're going to be yet. So cut us some slack if there's some weird ads in there for a little while. Like we'll try and work out what's going to be advertised and things like that. But I mean, did you mention we're trying to go weekly? You did, I think.
No,
did you say that?
So that's another big one. We want to do more, so we're going to go weekly now and tidy up our format so that we've got something to say every week. The hour-long show, while it is every couple of weeks, I think we've got plenty to say then. I think if we can tighten it up and make it like a really good 40-minute episode every week, you're getting a lot more, essentially. So hopefully that, for you guys at Patreon, we hope you find that is good. For you guys, you're essentially getting 20 minutes more, right? Every couple of weeks. Is that how the math works?
Well, I mean, I guess the true upside of it is that it creates a better podcast each time, I think. I mean, not saying that any of the ones we do are particularly bad, but yeah, exactly. Something you can expect a bit more rather than like, oh, am I going to hate this because they're talking about their left politics? Or, am I going to find this funny? Am I going to find this gross? All these things. Yeah. Well, you'll find that out, but in a 40-minute concentrated segment. So perhaps you don't have to, wait too long for that goodness, I suppose.
Indeed.
That would be my knowledge. Anyway, that's an intro to hopefully what we're going to be doing over the next few weeks.
Yeah, and we'll monitor the ad thing because, like we said, we said this behind the scenes. So yeah, if the ads are a bit too intrusive or not really worth the, having them in there, we'll monitor the situation and see if it's worthwhile, basically. So it may not be a permanent feature. We'll see.
Indeed. Let us know
look out for them
with the email hatchat@films.com. We'll skim it at best.
But their feedback is helpful. So yeah.
So please send that in. Thank you. And right, let's move on, shall we?
Yeah.
Nice. We don't need that. But let's get into hypotheticals, because this is something we really enjoyed last week. We had a hypothetical question that I saw on Reddit, and now I found 1 billion hypotheticals, and some I've come up with in the shower. So Alex Smith has curated some of them this week, and you guys on Patreon will get to choose next week's one. So look on your Patreon for that. Anyway, Alex Smith, take it away.
Well, I mean, the first hypothetical we've got here is one that Chris Trott came up with in the shower. So, I mean, you can imagine him naked and thinking, if you like, if you could project yourself directly into the minds of every living person for 10 seconds, and they'd completely understand what you're saying. They'd understand. They wouldn't question it. They wouldn't go, God, why is this weird, naked, blonde man in my head right now? They wouldn't say that. It would just be, hello, yes, I'm here to receive information. If you could project yourself directly into the minds of every living person for 10 seconds, what would you say?
Oh my God.
10 seconds. They will understand your intent, your emotion, your language. That will all be translated like as one-to-one as it can possibly be. So there's no cultural changes or anything like that they'd misconstrue your message. Your 10 seconds is your 10 seconds, and you get that to the entire world.
That's so, and that's exactly at the same time, right? So someone could be driving around, someone could be, mid.
It's like a PA broadcast. Yeah, it's like, Tannoy, global.
Hello, I'm in your head. It's like, man, that is. What would you say? That's a really important. It's like trying to get all the eyes on a specific program at one time. Like you have 10 seconds. That's crucial. And obviously, but the thing is, are we expecting them to understand? You say here that they understand what you're saying, but obviously, if you're going in there with a specific I don't know, extreme left opinion or whatever, right wing opinion, does that get absorbed, or do they just hear it and go, oh, well, I don't care about that? Or
I think that's a really good question.
I
think we'd have to believe that they have free will. They can decide to take that information however they want, because otherwise you're just mind controlling the entire population for 10 seconds. Yeah.
Had some good suggestions already, like subscribe to Hat Films and just spend 10 seconds promoting us.
There's another one that says, let the purge begin, Trott.
That's a good one.
Let the purge begin. Oh my God, everyone just starts going.
We could say something like, climate change is real. The world is ending in 2025 unless everybody stops mining oil now. It's urgent, and then something like that, where it's just it's all gonna go. We need to.
So they're not necessarily hearing your voice. It's basically your I don't know. Yes, it's so
your intention.
Complex to just.
You know what this makes me think of almost instantly when Trott was telling me about it. Yeah. This is how biblically angels were meant to interact with people, right? This is how. So there's this thing at the beginning of every not recorded instance, because obviously it's up for debate, but when a person meets an angel in the Bible, I'm sure in lots of other sort of religious texts as well, they usually start it with "Do not fear me," like I am an angel of the Lord, things like that. They instantly sort of go "Don't worry, it's fine. Now listen to what I have to say." I guess would be the place.
Only because they look batshit insane, unfathomably crazy looking. That's why they say
all the little
fear
different
me not.
Fractal pieces,
20 eyes and 6 wings in a circle.
If you're wondering what Trott's talking, what is that thing, Trott? By the way, people need to probably Google that to understand what you're talking
about. That's from it's like an Addendum Bible. I can't remember what it's called, where someone explains their sighting of or interaction with an angel, and there is a lot of detail of there's 2 wheels intersecting with eyes on them, and there's wings around them.
And the whole lot is viewed through a kaleidoscope,
basically,
scene, right?
Yeah, it's just
Right.
unfathomable.
So,
anyway,
to get back to your message, I mean, this is a really hard one, isn't it? I mean, this is such a responsibility, almost.
Well, this is it, because you can go selfish with it quite easily.
Yeah.
Like, you can really go
Chris
selfish with
Trott
it.
needs all of your money.
Yeah.
Send your
Empty
money.
your bank account, send it to this account number.
Protect him at all costs.
Protect. He is now your lord and deity, Chris Trott. I don't know, because you could use it as an advertising space, but then like you say, there's probably a wider thing that you could promote, in terms of awareness for climate change, taking it a bit more seriously, whereas you're getting in someone's head a bit more, which to be fair is probably the better option, I think, because advertising or whatever, something else is quite vapid and quite vacuous, or it's not important really, is it? But I guess it's down to the individual, isn't it? Like, somebody might go, "Well, give me $1 million or something," or what? Well, I don't know.
Let's change it then, because you're right. I think everybody would try and communicate whatever causes were dear to their heart, right?
Yeah.
So instead, let's change this question to: how do you freak the most people out in 10 seconds?
Okay.
Or how do you? What's the funniest thing you can say to every living person for 10 seconds?
Oh my God, 10 seconds of just,
let the purge begin
tonight. The purge begin is a great one.
Yeah. Because, then you could just look outside your window and see what happens. And see if anything really kicks off, or everyone's just kind of scratching their heads going, "Did you hear that too? Was it just me?" Because I feel like most people would either take that in and then be like, "No, that was just me. That's weird." But then there'll be a few who will take it seriously and start, causing mayhem. And
what about?
So what if I said mirrors aren't reflections; they're just portals to other worlds?
Yeah,
don't touch the mirrors.
I don't know. Yeah, go into a mirror section of a
they're all just versions of you trapped inside the glass.
What about you have been chosen? Everyone else thinks they have, but it's really you.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, because that would turn everyone into like a secret megalomaniac.
Yeah,
which I'm guessing, to be honest, most of us are, because
but that would really push individualism in a big way.
Oh God, if it can be pushed anymore. But the thing is I think everyone is really a megalomaniac of their own life, aren't they? Because you can never truly experience anything outside of your own experience of the world. So in a way, you're like, I am. I'm pretty important. I'm the main player of my story, main character.
It's believing that everyone else is NPCs. That would be an interesting one.
That's the dangerous
really get the Truman Show into their head.
Yeah.
Oh, what would that do? Say, this is the director speaking.
This is the director speaking. Oh,
around you as an actor.
It's
time to reveal the truth. You're the
God,
only real person. Good luck.
That would be amazing. Oh my God.
If you don't keep both of your feet on the floor for the next year, you'll leave Earth. You'll just float away. Can you imagine how paranoid people would be? It's like, like
your feet inside.
Don't jump. Leave the ground. Don't jump. Don't run.
God.
Some people are going to be mid skydive when they hear this message.
They'll be mid a lot of things.
Or like
bungee jumps.
Ollieing on a skateboard. Oh fuck.
Well, you'd be driving or doing something extremely important, like surgery, and you get that message come through. You're like, you are your own main character.
Some people are going to die just from the distraction.
Drop everything. Yeah, drop what you're doing
just
and
as
run
a surgeon,
outside.
you're just like, nah, just chuck a load of bolts in the back of somebody's brain or something.
Yeah, right. You start seeing loads of people moving, so it will become like a herd of people. They're all rushing outside. What for? Who knows?
Yeah,
but that would freak you out. That would cause stampedes. People start looting. I'm seeing big things from this. Crazy stuff.
What about
Let's just not abuse that power?
A simple run to the north. Don't stop.
It's the only safe way. The comet is coming.
Go north.
Everyone just goes north.
Oh my God.
Everyone just ends
We're not supposed to use this system, but we've got access for 10 seconds. Hurry, go north. Hurry, this comet is coming. Oh, I can't see it. Just run. Just go. Which way's north? I'm not sure. Just go that way.
My compass actually working.
I like the idea of whatever you say, cut it off mid-sentence.
That's a good one.
We just panic people. Important. I only have 10 seconds to transmit this really important message. You and everyone you know need to listen carefully. One moment and we could all be gone. Anyway, here's what we need to do. What? What was that?
Now listen carefully.
Did you hear that?
This is the important part.
The password is...
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got another one for you. So we've explored that one. Right. So this is a question about. Similar to what we just said then. Like if a person told you to do something, but here's a question: you have no possessions. If you had to get 10 grand by tomorrow, and no bank, friend, or family would give you a loan, how would you do it? How would you get 10 Gs?
To earn it, I mean,
you have to get 10 grand.
Do we need
This
it
is
as
like
a
about
physical cash or just
yeah,
in your bank
it's
account?
cash in a bag. This is like the criminal overlord situation, all right? So your whole family's been held hostage or whatever, and there's like a 10 grand bounty that you need to get, and you can't get. Nobody else can lend it to you. You need to get it from somewhere else. There's no legitimate means. I mean, I guess start a postal scam would get me. That'd be a good way to start doing it.
You have no possessions. That was
you have no
the
possessions.
first part.
You have no
you don't have anything to sell.
You have your body, so you could sell your body.
True.
I
Do you think you could make? Do you think you
you're
can make 10 G
for 10 Gs? This is it. Yeah, like with no access or no possessions, you're going to be a questionable clientele. I don't know how you go about that.
Your immediate decision was to become a prostitute.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm a prostitute.
You don't think this body is worth 10 grand? Come on.
I mean,
give me some time, and I think maybe.
Yeah, it's not inconceivable that you could earn 10 grand
a BJ.
That's a lot of BJs.
That's a lot of BJs. But if you work hard, I've always told working hard gets you the results. That's
how
how
long do you think each BJ session would last?
I don't know.
It can't be quick. Let's say minimum of 5 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes.
You've already come across someone who's willing to pay £5 from a stranger. So there's a boundary there that you're crossing. And then obviously, then it's a case of sensitivity and time. So I don't know, but
you should offer a no cashback 5-minute cutoff because
no cashback 5 minutes, £5 5 minutes,
no returns,
£1 a minute
policy.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. Actually, I mean, a theft would seem to be the obvious choice.
Yeah,
really,
I think it is.
If you were in dire straits, but I don't know where I would access that, or I don't have any.
Well, we've got a warehouse. I mean, never, ever, ever would I suggest ever doing this. And please, God, I hope I don't get arrested or something. Who knows in this pretty Patel authoritative state what happens to me? But we have a warehouse full of replica weapons, Ross. We could easily hold up shops and banks.
We have no possessions.
Oh God!
So we got our fists and the clothes on our back. I guess.
Oh, no, still be easy. Yeah, you got the clothes on your back. Yeah, you got like a 50 quid set of clothes. Let's say.
You go to Toys R Us.
You'd have to fake a weapon, and you'd have to unfortunately force people to do it.
And you can't. You say you can't get a loan from someone you know. So maybe
the
thing is,
out the window.
And are we in our current state, as in like do we look like we do now, or are we like? Have we lived rough for a while? I'm trying to figure out like the state, because I might be able to sway a businessman. I might be able to talk the talk.
Yeah, maybe.
I've done my hair, I've got a shirt on. Maybe that might persuade them to help me for a day.
What would you tell them to give you 10 Gs?
I'd tell them my life's in danger. No, I don't know, because again, if there's zero possessions, I have nothing to offer them. I have nothing to offer. Other than,
do you imagine turning up the next day, Ross?
Can I work for you I'll work for a couple of years for 10 Gs. I need the money right now.
I mean, maybe if you signed a contract. I mean, I guess that's almost a loan, though. If it's a business deal,
but not from a friend.
Imagine turning up, Ross, the next day to rescue your family after you've done your initial suggestion, your first go-to, thousands of blowjobs.
The talking would be, I'd have lockjaw.
The impact on you when they say, Ross, thank you. Oh my God, Ross, thank you so much. You got those 10 Gs. You freed us. And then they ask you what you did.
I don't know. I can't really talk. I've been
just take the money,
sucking other strangers up who were willing to pay $5 each. But I did it for you. Come on, be grateful.
10 grand.
Look at all this money. How? Me? Really? I know.
If you made 10 grand a day from it, Ross,
guys,
would you consider going back to it the next day? Do you think, even if there wasn't sort of a pressing issue?
I think it might be quite a traumatizing experience. So I don't know.
Yeah, but the damage is already done.
It depends. I need to afford therapy. So I guess maybe
it's expensive.
Another round.
Double down. Get the other 10 Gs, and then might be able to get an hour or two of therapy with that.
Well, you
could
turn up to some porn shoots pretending to be Mick Blue.
Yeah, maybe.
But they don't get paid much. The male performance.
I don't think. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, you'd have to do some crazy stuff. Like pissing, shower stuff. No, I don't know. I don't know. You have to really degrade yourself. Maybe I could be the one man, one jar guy. Did he get money for that?
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
I think he had a trip to the hospital is all he got.
Trip to the hospital.
Isn't
and
it weird how there's like a link between
no one knows who he is.
degradation and money generation? If somebody said like degrade yourself and you will get money, you'd be like, what? How is that relationship even like you? Because some relationships between like effort and money can kind of make sense. You're like, if I go out into that field and grow and pick 100 potatoes and then take them down to a market and give those to people and they'll eat it, that like the whole value chain there kind of makes sense. But if you said to a person, you can degrade yourself, I guess it's not the degradation that makes the money, it's the acts that cause the degradation that make the money. Yeah, I suppose.
Exactly. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, you might be able to benefit from just saying, slap me in the face for a $5. And there might be enough people who are just like, yeah, that'd be fun. Like, this guy's all right up for it. And she's just like, yeah.
I mean, I think
solid one there.
That is basically what a lot of YouTubers do now, isn't it? Really, they'll just do like
YouTube prankers.
I got punched in the face. We offered people 50 quid to get punched in the face and stuff like that. You know, like that is a bit of a textbook one. But yeah. Well, Ross, I think you've given us all the food for thought we need on that one.
Thanks. That's disgusting, isn't it? Really. But I don't think I think I'd struggle to make 10K. I think the first time you'd struggle.
Yeah, I just want to say a final thing here, Ross.
Okay.
You don't need to do the same thing for 10 Gs. You could have like taken 5G, put some of that into like gambling or something like that. Go to the the roulette table or whatever, and then get back to the blowjobs as a fallback. But like if you win, you can stop at any time.
Yeah. So you got 5. I'll put some red, and then you lose it all, and you're like, oh.
This is such that's a terrible idea, by the way. That's an awful idea. Ross has just spent half a day blowjobbing his way around Bristol, and he's got 5Gs, and you're like, oh my god, Ross, 5Gs. He then takes that to a casino, puts it all on red, and loses it immediately.
Just like offset a bit.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. The risk is the same. You are just risking for 20 for anal. That's not bad. Right. Okay. So should we go for an ad break now?
So
is that what we're gonna do?
This is a warm up for you guys. It's not going to be on this episode, but this is like halfway through. And we put an ad in this point, but we're letting you know, giving you warning. But of course, if you're a patron supporter, it's just going to go straight to the next section. So here we go. Nice, and we're back.
Wow, there it is. That was a nice little audio gap there. Brilliant. Thanks, Trott.
You're welcome. There's the mark. Anyway, what should we move on to next?
Well, there's plenty of funny news here. I see.
I do have
Ross. Any of the particular gems you want to?
I mean, I'll throw some headlines your way just to get a gauge. So there's petition to kill a billionaire. Okay. Sure. There's shark pooped too hard. There is. Jeff Bezos is involved in that. Shark pooped too hard. Dog fucker in court. High anxiety goes up in flames.
That's a water park, is it?
That is a water park.
These are Ross Hornby titles, aren't they?
Yeah, some of them are they funny? I mean, really.
The shark poops too hard. I'm definitely interested in.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's see what this takes us, because again, these are the types of things where I read the headline, have a little skim, and it's like, yeah, that's good. But I'll go into it. Aquarium shark receives underwater surgery for prolapsed rectum.
Oh,
so that's a prolapsed rectum on a shark. A nurse shark in an aquarium in Nanning, South China's. I don't know how to say that properly, and I'm not going to bother.
Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region.
Nice. Nice attempt.
Thank you. And then they said it defecated hard, causing it had an obstructed bowel movement, and it just really came out. And they said it was a danger if the rectum had not been put back in. And they had to set up a dude, came down and started putting it back in, basically. The shark's experience received thousands of comments from curious netizens on social media. Isn't it ironic that a shark being operated on is called a nurse shark? Lol. So there you go. That's a little.
Did they put lol in the article?
No, I added a little lol in there. That was just for me. Yeah. So that's a very vapid story. It pooped too hard and needed its rectum to pop back in. Simple.
The photo is terrible as well, by the way. That photo that they provided.
I mean, it's underwater photography.
I'm like, what is that? You could put anything. You could just put a picture of a nurse shark, and it would probably be a better option.
I think you can see some fingers in there. Is that a finger? I think it's a hand.
There's definitely stitching.
Describing this in an audio way, it's basically kind of just you can see the under part of the shark and some fingers.
Peachy, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's, I mean, there you go. Sharks can poop really hard, and they may need operations on their butt. It happens.
Yeah,
you know?
fair play.
You guys ever had to do any sort of management with your dogs yet? Sort of.
Oh, like because sometimes you can expressing their anal gland.
Maybe we shouldn't talk about this. I mean, maybe we should talk about this. It's kind of disgusting.
You don't want to talk about this too gross?
Brought it up, so
too gross. We do have.
I mean, we talked. I mean, I brought it up very hesitantly. I was like, maybe I don't want to hear about this.
Well, recently we've discussed Nan's milk, which is obviously a popular brand of flavored milk.
In progress.
Is it flavored milk? What flavor is it? Like biscuit
Nan flavor. It's like rich tea.
Nan flavor.
It's unique.
It tastes like word is original.
Tastes like mothballs and BO.
No, Nan's milk was a running joke. If you haven't been following our Rocket League episodes, or was it Golf with Your Friends? It kind of carried over 3 episodes.
Come about now. I have no idea.
Remember.
GTA playlist, I think.
We have a stream of consciousness. We talk shit all the time, and then we came up with Nan's milk, which
like monkeys and typewriters. Just comes up with stuff.
Yeah, you give us enough time, and we'll come up with everything. But specifically, gross, weird stuff like Nan's milk, which was a reference to grandmother's breast milk. Anyway,
so a giant water slide has gone up in flames in the Mountain Creek Water Park in New Jersey.
Oh yes,
June 16th, the giant water slide at a New Jersey water park lived up to its name Tuesday when it went up in flames. I know the name of the water slide was not "This is going to go up in flames." It was called High Anxiety. It caught fire at Mountain Creek Water Park in Vernon. A spokesperson for the water park. That is a lot
top of a tube, just billowing smoke and flames. You know, like in Always Sunny.
Whoa. That is so going up. I mean, I guess it's because it's like one of those classic tubes that are probably made from some form of like polymer. So maybe that's
it's fiberglass.
Wood, and then the tube itself is fiberglass. Actually, you're right. I didn't know fiberglass burnt that well.
Well,
maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's a wooden frame.
Burning great. Use that for your campfires.
Fiberglass.
Yeah. That's a weird smell. Keep ingesting it. Breathe it in. They opened the park that week, though. I think they continued to just go ahead, even though that fire happened. So fair enough.
Welcome back, yes. But that water slide, which features a 45-degree drop, is now out of commission.
Yeah,
that's surprising, isn't it?
That makes sense. The whole top was on fire. How did it even get on fire? Did it say on the article? I don't think it does.
Say in the article, no.
Just says, bam, huge fire. Weird. There was a story about the UFO stuff. I don't suppose you went into this at all, or you read about this, Smith, because
I have, it
was quite disheartening.
Yes.
The FBI.
It was not the FBI.
CIA,
it's probably the Pentagon. I doubt it's the CIA.
Yeah, it was Pentagon.
So I mean, I was saying this before, when we were talking about this, I'm like, take this with a pinch of salt because it's probably not going to be anything particularly interesting because the government still has, all governments have national security concerns. That why would they release information if they don't have to? Ultimately, because any bit of information you put out there, your adversaries are probably going to consider as well. And through omissions, you can also, show weakness. But anyway. This is essentially saying that the U.S. government, or the report on recent UFO sightings that have become more and more prevalent and more mainstream over the last few years, essentially saying there are things in the air that we don't understand. There are things moving around that we've cited from numerous sightings from, people who know what they're looking at a lot of the time, pilots and things like that, who are trained how to identify things in the air. They're saying, there's stuff that we don't understand, which, is essentially where I was at with it. And I think where a lot of people who've looked into this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And I say looked into, I'm not saying that I'm some sort of scientist or anything like that. You wade through a lot of crazy.
You've been called upon as a expert consultant, is what you're saying.
Preeminent expert consultant is actually the title I use. Yeah. I'm a pre-con. My parents did a lot of drugs. But essentially, they're saying, there is stuff that we don't understand up there, and we have some footage of it, and the footage is real, and we still don't understand what it is. They're saying it's not US government tech, but I mean, of course, you would say that. There's no way to prove it's not. I don't think it is, personally. Personally, I don't think it is. I think there's a very, very, very slim chance that sort of China and Russia could have come up with some form of technology that's sort of light years ahead of everybody else. It's possible. I mean, I think there's probably technologies as well beyond just things flying around in the sky that we don't understand that are kept.
What if it's just like a homemade project? Someone's just I'm working
yeah.
on some crazy tic-tac technology.
Some genius in that shed.
And they've just put some little thrusters on the side of a
100%
little
could happen.
dome thing that goes underwater. Now I can go underwater.
That'd be amazing. I mean, basically the Rick and Morty situation is what you're describing there.
Or like a Bruce Wayne-esque character who's just creating crazy devices. But like, I mean, they said here there was 144 sightings from 2004 to 2021, and they're saying the government wants to collect better data, but they can't. They have no idea where the current ones are from or what they are. That's what they're saying anyway. And like you say, they could say that in the first place and just be like, well, we don't know, even if they did know. So I don't know. It's a bit disappointing.
Elon Musk in the chat saying Elon Musk going for a joyride. I think this is a really interesting idea because there are individuals now in our world, in our globe, people like Jeff Bezos, people like Elon Musk, who are wealthier than most nations in the world, which is kind of crazy to say. And these people have none of the red tape, none of the sort of structural limitations or checks and balances on them, and that's that's the case. And it once was of course they couldn't develop rockets on their own as a private enterprise. That needs whole countries to come together because the 1960s space race in America and stuff, like huge amounts of the country's GDP in the US, and I'm sure in the other nations like Russia where they were also doing it, was purely pumped into space development, right? That's why there was this huge advancement in technology during from the 60s on up until where it famously slowed down a lot when we stopped sending missions up, manned missions up and things like that. But like that was an example of the amount of money necessary to fund such a development of a rocket program. It was a massive amount of the US's production capability. Nowadays, with the way that wealth and money and all these things work, that system and that checker or / balance is kind of been removed. And so people like Bezos, people like Elon, and all these other billionaires that you never even hear about, as Ross has mentioned in the past, there are lots and lots of very, very, very wealthy people out there.
They literally pay to be hidden.
To stay out of the spotlight, exactly. So those people could have gone and said, right, no, I'm going to set up a commission. I'm going to hire lots and lots of very qualified people. I'm going to buy lots and lots of technology that can allow me to scan or see or monitor or all these things. It could all be possible, and it's really exciting. I mean, I'd love answers. I think everyone, but I think we'd all like to know what the actual reality is.
Because it's like Jeff Bezos, mate. You spent a bit of your money that you spent on Blue Origin just fixing everything, just giving everyone, ending famine. That'd be nice. He could do it with his assets. Not saying it's his responsibility, but it's the big billionaires like, I want big rockets and I want to go to space, which is exciting for me because I like space and the frontiers of human discovery and exploration is important for us to have a goal and a purpose in life. But it is the billionaires ultimately wanting their big toys, really, and I want to be the first in space. That kind of thing.
Is Elon planning to go into space as well? Because obviously you've got Richard Branson now saying he's going. I don't know if he's going. Into space. He's going into like the stratosphere or something.
He's going on Crew Dragon at some point, I think.
It's not in his business interest doing it to not do it at SpaceX, right? Why would he go on the Virgin one or the Jeff Bezos one when he's probably waiting for the SpaceX one, right?
Are they in a race?
Also, you've got to remember that like these people like Elon and Jeff, they're risking essentially godhood. Like with these astronauts, these incredibly brave people go up and do these things. They are taking their lives in their hands. It's super. I mean, I know the statistically it's very unlikely to die in space. That's actually an interesting stat. Only 3 people have ever died in space, apparently. I heard
also highly trained.
Exactly. But like, even, you look at the Columbia disaster and things like that. You could be sat on the platform, one thing goes wrong and the whole bloody thing incinerates itself. And they're walking away, like whilst astronauts probably motivate themselves to go like, this is the peak of human endeavor, this is the peak of exploration, like there are a lot of reasons to risk their lives. I think if you're a billionaire at their status, they have even more to lose because ultimately they're walking away from the ultimate life on Earth for something else, which I understand, but I can also see there's a different sort of value proposition going on there.
So is it just an ego thing, do you reckon, as well, driving it? Definitely. An ego and a kind of like, I was first, or I'm the first big balls billionaire to get up there.
Yeah, you would go down in history, exactly. Think about, all
human
endeavor.
History for who they are anyway.
Yeah, but they want
being
more.
a billionaire
like,
in itself, or a famous billionaire.
They're not just stopping,
enough,
are
isn't
they?
it?
They're not just saying I've got enough. They're always like, they are the types of people that want more and want to do more things all the time. So it's like, yeah, I'll set up a Blue Origin.
I do always, yeah, you're right. Sorry. Now I was just gonna kind of pointlessly refute something, but like, I feel like people like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos weren't destined to be successful simply because of their qualities. There were certain elements of things that happened to them, and then certain qualities that those things, affected, which allowed them to become these successful people. I think there are probably millions of people out there that could be as successful and as forward-thinking as people like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk,
just had bad luck.
They don't have exactly those particular elements of their life. You know, their dad wasn't an emerald miner, or something along those lines. You know,
well, it's like the quotes from Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was like, "I don't like to be called a self-made man because that's just megalomania. Ultimately, this is not word for word. It's everybody around me helped me to get where I am today. And either you walk on people to get where you are, to be a billionaire, or you acknowledge and use other people to get where you are. You know, smarter people, ultimately. So they probably were surrounded by the right people and had the funding to do what they did to get where they are, and had a lot of luck on their side as well. So don't believe that all these people are saying you can do it too if you just put hard work and perseverance in. It's like, it's not. Ultimately,
well, don't let it don't let it demotivate you, and also don't deify the people that are in those positions.
You know, I think you shouldn't be like, I'm going to be a billionaire, because ultimately that's you want to just be like, I'm going to be comfortable. I think that's what you want to be aiming for. Like the billionaire thing is just, you know, trust fund up to
the economy right now. Sort of stuff. Being able to break through and just even make ends meet. Jeez. Most people are just.
We're quite lucky in that, like, we've had the perspective, like, you know, like, I'd love a Lamborghini, but I know that if I had a Lamborghini tomorrow, it wouldn't make me happier. I mean, it would be fun for a bit, but like, I wouldn't go, right, this has changed my life to the point where if I didn't have this Lamborghini, it would suck. Like,
where's the castle? You can't put, you can't live in it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I do think that I know we're lucky that I think we've had a bit of that perspective of tried some of these quite amazing things that, like, things that, you know, these experiences that sometimes, well, individually, I think we never would have done or never would have experienced. And that has kind of, I wish other people could. I know some people think like that and they're lucky to think like that. But for me personally, I am quite a things-driven person, and to experience those things and go, okay, no, it's all right. I can still find.
I think you have to have fuck you money to buy those type of things.
Yeah.
You have to be able to afford that thing like 3 times over before you buy it, because, like you say, it's just once you have it, like, if you were buying it and you could only just afford it, you're not going to enjoy it, because you wouldn't want to park anywhere. You'd kind of baby it all the time. It's just like, live your life, get a cheaper car, and enjoy the rest of things you can get in life. It's just it's not be all or end all, is it?
No, that's very wise and a very nice way to round up the Hat Chat podcast. So we'll move into this has been so structured. I've never seen us be this structured since our first iterations of Hat Chat. It's quite nice, actually. Anyway, hey, thanks. I want to say a huge thanks to our Patreon supporters for hanging on in there as we make these changes, and also allowing us to provide you an ad-free version and keep going, ultimately, despite the ads that are going to be coming in. So thank you. If you'd like to, check out patreon.com/hatfilms to get the ad-free version, and also choose the hypothetical questions for next week. That'd be great.
Yes.
And also, if you don't like ads that are being injected in the podcast, then our YouTube channel also has just the YouTube stuff, the stuff you're used to on YouTube. So there's that option. And if you are creative, then please send your fingals to hatchat@hat-films.com, or hypothetical questions. If you have any interesting ones, why not send it there?
Yeah, totally.
And let us know some interesting things that we can talk about. That's ultimately it. So thanks for listening. Let us know what you think about this new format. Please enjoy the full-length Fingal by... Oh, I've lost it. It's gone.
Oh,
Josh.
It's up here. It says Josh Morley Smith.
Josh Morley Smith, thanks. Really love it. Thank you.
We'll see you next week, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, weekly. How exciting.
Indeed.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. Thanks for listening, everyone. Bye-bye.